Guys, David the Thrifty Mechanic here. It's been a couple of weeks since I made my last video. The last one I had was my giveaway. So I decided to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on what I've been doing. And it's really just been kind of purchasing tools and getting an idea on what I'm looking at. So without making it too crazy or anything, I'm going to show you what I've recently picked up, and there's more to come. I made a pretty good sized purchase. It's that time of year. And this is my first one, and it's a manifold gauge set for 134A. It's snap-on. Now I'm going to tell you why I like this, and it's mainly because I like that the gauges are anti-flutter. Now what that means is whenever you have like a cheaper set of gauges, specifically like Harbor Freight or OTC, these gauges, when they go up, instead of going up smooth and down smooth to follow the actual flow, they just kind of go. So you don't know your exact reading. And this is anti-flutter, so it helps to prevent that and give you clear readings. I like it because the handles are really easy to turn as well. They got good sizes on them. They got little indents, so you can actually fit your hand on there, tighten them down, loosen them up. The fittings feel very good. They come off and go back on very easily. So that's nice. And it's only going to get easier with age. It also has a really long charging hose, so basically I can hook a tank up to it. For instance, if you're doing this stuff at home, or if you're in a shop that can't afford an AC unit, like one of those roll-around ones, this is definitely something. It's also really good for diagnostics if you're just looking to kind of get a feel of what you're looking at. I got this with the bent fitting on it for your tanks, and I put the straight fitting up here. These run you about $250 if you buy them off the truck. So I actually got it for about $125, $130. And the reason I did was because since I was still technically a student, I used some money and I bought this from the school. So it's in perfect condition. It's never been used. I just got it out of the box and everything. And a few things I do like about it, but it's whatever, is the sight glass to be able to look at your refrigerant, see if it's really, really dirty or whatever. It doesn't really matter that much because refrigerant is refrigerant, but it does go bad after a while. So it's one of those things that you do want to keep your eye on. So kind of peek at this. If it looks really dirty and nasty, it might not be a bad idea to do a complete recovery of the AC system and then recharge it with fresh refrigerant. So there's that. It's got these nifty little holders on the sides, and you know what size fittings you're looking at that fit this, so you can put it on and go about your business. The needles are easy to turn, very, very easy with your hands. So that's really, really cool. It's got a nice hanger on it that's loose, and it swivels 100%. This also acts as a vacuum gauge. So if I wanted, I could hook up a portable vacuum machine and hook it up to this, and I can pull vacuum on this. As you can see right here, get it a little closer for you guys. As you can see right here, there's a vacuum that goes in inches of mercury, which is what vacuum is measured in, and it goes all the way down to 30. You won't really find anything that gets to 30 because even in the lab tests, they can't get to 30. It's perfect vacuum. So anything pretty much below 24, well, above 24 inches of mercury is pretty darn good vacuum. So for any kind of a vacuum or anything like that, you kind of gauge where you should be. Use your service information to go from there. This goes up to 500 and this goes to 350. You should never really get up to that point, but if you do, obviously it's dependent on temperature. If you don't know much about AC, most of the time your cold side is going to be around ambient temperature outside. So if it's 80 degrees here, it's going to be 80 on here normally. And if it's hot outside, it could be, like if it's 80 degrees outside, it's normally double what your ambient temperature is on the high side. Now that's not always the case. Things are a little different on every AC and HVAC system, but that's just kind of like a baseline that I was always taught, and it always worked for me. So keep that in mind. It's a really, really cool set. If you want one, pick it up from your local Snap-on dealer. It's a nice kit. It comes with a nice little, nice long cable. Everything's nice on it. The gauges are really, really clear. It's silicon, anti-flutter. It does inches of mercury. It's specifically for our 134A. It does not do R12. I don't really mess with R12, so I don't really care to use it. And I didn't want to buy one that was for it because I have no use for it. So, really neat. These hoses are good to like 800 psi, so you're never going to see anywhere near that, so they're never going to wear out on you. If anything wears out, it's going to be these because these are what's getting moved so much. So, we're going to go ahead and put that bad boy on the side, and I'm going to go through the next piece of what I've purchased recently. Alright, so there's that. The next thing I got was, if you guys do a lot of steering and suspension, this will be more of your thing, especially if you're doing bearings. So this is the Blue Point bearing driver set. The code for it is A1310A. It's a really neat kit. It's really cool because you have sometimes you don't have the right die to push in a wheel bearing. Like if it's a press-in wheel bearing, you don't have the right die for it. Or if you're putting a race into a hub or anything like that, sometimes you just don't have the right stuff for it. This eliminates that, and here's why. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like it, but it's at the same time. So, you find it's an assorted kit that has different sizes. It goes all the way down the spectrum here. And it's an assorted kit. You take this, which is a machine piece. You got the flat surface here, and to push in like wheel bearings, and you got this surface here to push in races. So you take that. For some reason or another, Snap-on thought it would be a wonderful idea to put a bolt in here, and I don't know why, so I got to take that out. But you take it, and you push it in, and it's supposed to slide all the way down, where this is completely flush with the bearing driver here on the other side. And you hit it with a hammer until this is flush with the surface that you're hitting. It saves you a lot of trouble. You know you're getting a good, even hit on it every time. You don't have to worry about bending it or it getting crooked inside the hub, which can lead to a very big headache because that's hardened steel and it can shatter and all that stuff. So this is really cool because it has 9 different sizes to go through, all the way down to this itty bitty little thing here. You probably won't use that too much, but it's there for you if you do want it. Now, obviously, I gotta take that bolt out, but yeah. It's also got this tapered end on it, too, so that's pretty neat. Now, what I don't like about this here is made of aluminum. I do not think aluminum in any way or form should ever be in something that's dealing with impacts on a regular basis. This is going to get mushroomed out and destroyed very, very fast. All it takes is one good wheel bearing or hub or race that does not want to go in easily, and this is going to go bye-bye really quick because aluminum is extremely soft. If you guys don't know that, go crush an aluminum can and go try to crush a steel can that holds your food. They're pretty much the same thickness, and one is like 4 times harder to crush than the other. There's a reason why, because steel is much stronger. You can see that this is just extruded aluminum. You can see where they pushed it through a die, and it was just an aluminum piece of stock that they knurled, put their stamping in, and put a warning wear eye protection, and machined one end. Hell, they didn't even machine it. They just casted it like that. That's sad. And then put threads in one side and called it a day. And they tapered the other end. So, this is probably going to be the weakest link here. I don't know if they got a lifetime warranty on this or not. But, so if anything's going to break, these feel okay. These also feel like they're aluminum. So I'm not happy about that either. I don't think anything that has to do with driving seals or, not seals, bearings or races into hard steel hubs or anything like that should ever be used, because if that hub is harder than this, what's going to get chewed up? This or the hub? This cost me, I think, $100, so I'm not happy with it very much because everyth's made of aluminum. Snap-on is definitely cheaping out on that stuff, and don't get me wrong, I know Blue Point is their off-brand, but this is a little ridiculous. I think these should have at least been steel. At least stainless steel. For the money that you're paying for it, you can get an OTC one for it. But for most cases, this will suit people very, very nicely for what they're doing. It'll work very well for people who are DIYers or very light-duty technicians, but mainline techs who do this stuff all the time. This is going to break, and I am not happy about it one bit. I feel like it's not really worth the $100 that I paid for it. So, it even comes with these nice handy-dandy instructions on how not to die. It says, tool makes it easier to insert wheel bearing race and seals without damage to the race and axle housing. Instructions for races. Select proper size driving disc, tapered end, and place the race over the disc with a small hammer, drive into place. For seals, select proper disc size, large diameter end, and place over the seal with a small hammer, drive it in the new seal. So to put races in, you use this side. This is tapered in. You see it's got a taper. To put seals in, you do this side because it's a flat surface on either way. So yeah. Oh, and it came to me damaged. Look at that. There's some damage on it. You guys might think that's stupid, but you know, when you're paying as much as people pay for these, I mean, any damage is enough. It's not right. So I'm definitely going to be talking to the Snap-on guy about that and telling him I'm not happy with it. It's not very, very value friendly. So if you want my advice, don't buy the bearing race, the A1310 or whatever it is. Yeah, A1310A bearing driver kit from Snap-on, their Blue Point brand. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not happy with it, but it'll have to do. So there's that. And this is just a predecessor to what's coming, or a precursor, I guess. I bought a battery. They actually got a humongous box. Like, not this box, but literally like a 12 by 24 box. And I thought there was going to be a lot of stuff in it, and it was literally just this box. So Snap-on, if you're watching, what the hell is your problem to put a little box like this in a big, huge box and just put a bunch of bubble wrap around it? But I got a battery. This is a 2 amp hour battery from Snap-on. I got it because I'm looking to buy some of Snap-on's electrical stuff, mainly their lights. I love their cordless lights, and I think that they're really nice. And I wanted to get a set of my own, so I got a cordless light coming too. So whenever that comes in, we'll definitely be seeing another review on it. So, without getting too crazy, I guess, that's all I got to show for you for today. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any questions you have about the manifold gauge set or the battery or the driver set, and I'll answer them as best I can. If you need prices or anything like that, just let me know. So thanks for watching. I'm David the Thrifty Mechanic, and you guys stay thrifty.